I'm Jennifer from Adult Services, and today we're going to go through the third kind of book for bookmaking at home. Now this one isn't going to use the sewing quite like the first two did. This time we're going to make what's known as an album journal that's bound on the side with ribbons. If you've got cardstock to use for a cover, you're going to get a book that will open, but it doesn't quite lay flat. If you were to do something a little fancier with a hard cover, then you could make it so that your ribbon binding would be on a separate piece of cardboard than the rest, and it would open up a little more neatly. Both of these are good for doing a sort of scrapbook kind of book, or just a regular journal, whatever you want to do. So I will go over what materials you need to make a journal like this, show you step by step how to do it, and in no time at all, you'll have your own little album journal for your own use. Let's get started. So what you're going to need to make an album journal will be 2 pieces of cardstock. You can find decorative ones or just plain colored ones. A bunch of pages that are cut to the same size as the cardstock. I believe when I cut these, it was just half of a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet, but you can choose whatever size you want. One thing that I found helpful, since you're going to need a hole punch to punch holes, I made a little guide so that I could figure out how to evenly place those holes and be able to lay that over my bunch of papers when I'm ready to punch them. You will need ribbon or cord of some sort for binding, scissors to go ahead and cut your ribbon, and binder clips to hold the pages together when you're working on them. So since I've already gone through and punched the holes in both the covers and the pages, I'm just going to put it all together like so, and clip the pages on either side just so that they don't move while I'm working. For the ribbon binding, you want to cut the ribbon a little over 4 times this width. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to give it a little extra to make sure I have enough length to tie it at the end. All right, now holding the side with the holes closest to you, you'll want to work your ribbon through this 3rd hole from the bottom and pull it all the way up until you have a tail about that long. You need it to be long enough so that when you get to the end, you have some give to be able to tie. And then we're going to take the long end, loop it back around, and I'm going to hold this ribbon to the side. Okay. It obviously does not want to cooperate, and that's okay. You can take your time doing this. So come up from the bottom again. And you've got this first loop made. Now, you're going to go to the next hole over. And since you're already on the top, you're just going to go down and pull the ribbon through. I try and keep this ribbon fairly straight as I'm going from hole to hole. It's a little tricky, but again, just give yourself a little time and you'll be able to do it. Then I'm going to loop from the bottom up and come back through the bottom. And now, as you'll see from the previous book, that I also want a loop on this side as well. That just helps secure your binding in place. So while I'm still here at the last hole, I'm going to come up from this side, over, and down through this final hole. Come on. All right, so that corner is secure. Now we need to come back this way. So since we already have a loop here on the top, we'll work the ribbon through on the back to come up the next hole. Ultimately, your goal is going to be the ribbon is sort of stitched in between each hole and around these loops. So we've got this end done, and now we're going to work towards this end. So we'll just go down the next hole. And we'll take this time to go ahead and do that loop. So from the bottom, up and around and through from the top. So we've closed that loop. And then we'll move to the next hole. And I don't know if you'll notice, but each time I'm trying to fold the end of the ribbon to help push it through a little better. This ribbon has kind of a stiffer edge to it, and that helps to thread it through. All right, so we're up. We're going to do another loop. And since we're here, we'll do this side loop as well. Okay, you can see we're almost done. Now we're going to finish this stitch here. So our front is all done, and we come to the back, and now we're ready just to tie a little bit of a knot. You can either have it just show here in the middle, or you can kind of arrange your knot so that it tucks into one of these holes. I'm not going to be particular today, so I'm just going to tie that knot right here in the middle. You just hold it down while you get your second part of the knot made. Tie it nice and tight. And then we'll just trim the ribbon ends. I like to do that at a diagonal so it gives it just a nice little finish to it. And pop off your binder clips. Now we have a nice little journal ready to use. So it's a little bit simpler than the stitched journals we've done already, but it's also a little more complicated because you have to remember to catch all of these loops and how to weave it in and out. Just follow through the video, go slowly, pause it if you need to, and you'll be able to make one of these for yourself in no time at all. Hope you have fun making some journals to keep you busy during this wild and crazy time in our lives, and I hope to talk with you again soon. Take care, stay well, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.